The best way to preach Christ, that's when we allow Him to live in us. When Jesus Christ works in our lives as believers, that can help someone to find Him or to find strength in Him. And that is actually called testimony. Testimonies comes in different shapes and in different sizes. Some testimonies may come very gentle, in a very slow pace, but some testimonies are very, very dramatic, with a very wild turning point. And that can make one go like, oh yeah, I get it, kind of moment. You see? And there are those testimonies that can make people go like, oh, really? There is a testimony of a well-known believer that when I hear about it the first time, I was like, oh, really? And that is the testimony of Evangelist Smith Wigglesworth. To those who don't know who Evangelist Wigglesworth was, he was a British evangelist who was very influential in the early years of Pentecostalism. He was born in 1859 and he died in 1947. And what made me go like, oh really, about him is this. Evangelist Smith Wigglesworth was married to a God-fearing woman who was attending Christian meetings regularly. One day, Evangelist warned his wife that if he continued coming late, one day he will sleep outside because he will lock the doors if she's not back by 8 p.m. And one evening, the wife as always went to the meeting and she couldn't return back before 8 as she was instructed by her husband. And Mr. Wigglesworth locked the door exactly at 1 minute past 8 in the evening. When she came back, she found the door locked and she spent the night in the cold weather outside. In the morning, Mr. Wigglesworth opened the door and he found his wife outside. He greeted the wife greeted him and he told him that she will get his breakfast ready soon. And Mr. Wigglesworth was surprised. He actually thought that she will fight with him over that. Instead, what was going inside of Mrs. Wigglesworth is exactly what happened to Paul when he said it himself to the Galatians in Galatians chapter 2 verse 20. What Paul said is this: I have been crucified with Christ. It is no longer I who live, but Christ lives in me. Indeed, it was no longer Mrs. Wigglesworth who lives, but Christ was living inside of her. He then told his wife that he will join her to that place that transformed her. And that's how Mr. Wigglesworth changed from being Mr. to Evangelist Smith Wigglesworth, because he gave his life to Christ and he became a good vessel used by the Lord. Amen.